for you, amen. Or I'll cook on weekends. How's that? You're negotiating. Can I get an amen? You're negotiating. And then there's the cooperation conflict style. And this is the highest level. It's characterized by an active concern by both parties. They're looking to find an amicable solution that satisfies both of them. And it's a situation where you're trying to find a win-win situation. Okay, we're fighting about this. Okay, that's good, that's great. But the question then becomes, how can we both win? You know? How can we work together to get a solution which accommodates both our needs and values? Individuals with this type of style tend to be highly assertive, but at the same time, highly empathetic. You know? I know my values, I know my needs, but at the same time, I have a sensitivity of your values and your needs too. And that's the challenge, you know. We're generally selfish. We don't want to be sensitive to their values and their needs, but we have to be. And so what they do is they always see conflict as a creative opportunity for growth and development. So they're willing to invest time and resources into finding a win-win solution. So it's understanding that you're both on the same team. Because what happens when you're in a fight, sometimes you can feel like, hey, I'm on Chiefs and she's on Buccaneers. You don't feel like you're on the same team. But when you now have this cooperation conflict style, it's understanding that you're on the same team and you're working hard to make sure that you do not lose your winning edge. Because what happens is when you're fighting, you lose your winning edge. What do I mean by your winning edge? When things aren't right in the bedroom, when things aren't right at home, no matter where you go to the boardroom in the city, you underperform. Can I get an amen? I'm fighting my wife, come to church, I won't preach good. I won't. No matter where I go, I'm just distressed. It is just not the same. So it's important that you don't allow conflict to impact your winning edge. It's literally saying that after this conflict, when you say, baby, after this conflict, we must come out better and more in love and more productive. Those three things. We must come out with a better knowledge of each other. We must come out more in love, and we must come out more productive. Make your conflicts pay you. Can I get an amen in here? Amen. Your conflicts, there has to be a payoff which comes. Amen. It mustn't take, it must bring something. So, in this cooperation conflict style, it's very important that you understand that you are a team. Now I'm going to give you keys on dealing with the conflict, then we can go and get out of here. Number one, identify and define the problem. That's the first thing. You have to identify what's the problem. Clarify which needs and which values are threatened here. What's the problem? So you clarify. I value a cooked meal. I hate eating KFC every day. That's my value. I need a cooked meal. And then she'll tell you, I value rest after work. I value a massage after work. So cook and a massage. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? So you have to clarify and define the problem. A problem that's defined is a problem that's solved. Number two. Now this one is very important. You need this tool. Create a place. Create a place where you deal with conflict. You have to have a set place. This is where we fight. Can I get an amen? And you have to call it something. You got to create a code for it. You got to say, hey baby, it's time to go to Parliament. And you already know Parliament, for example, can be the living room, the couch where you sit. And then you say, babe, we need Parliament at 9. There's some stuff we need to talk about. Can I get an amen? Because the problem is, you mustn't fight everywhere. Amen. Have a fight place. Have a ring. Amen. Don't fight everywhere. The same way you can't make love everywhere. You can't fight everywhere. Can I get an amen in here? I saw people blushing. You can't make love everywhere. So find somewhere to fight. Because it's sensitive. And it's an intimate moment too. So, don't fight in the car. So once it's starting in the car, say, babe, save that fire for Parliament. We'll have that fire at 8. For now, let's listen to Metro FM. Until, amen. Don't fight via email. Don't fight via SMS. Don't fight over the phone. Don't phone shouting, ah, and you cut. Don't fight in public. Develop a place, a specific place, that this is where we fight. So that's your homework today. You're going to find your fight place. You're going to find your fighting place. Can I get an amen? Think about it. Find a place where you fight. Where you deal with, sometimes even if you've got a nice park nearby, you go there, park your car, while you're looking at the lake, you start. You're like, okay, start. You know? Create a meeting and sit and talk. And I'll tell you why it's important. It's very important that you have a place, because now you eliminate you now become professional conflict handlers. Because when something arises, you don't just set off in public. You don't just start in Nando's. I told you I don't want wings. I told you I want to fly. You don't start. Amen. Amen. I told you I want jumbo chips. Can you see this? Amen. You now have a place where you fight. So say we're having a fight place. And then you have to set times for it. Like, hey, we're going to fight at 7. So hold that anger in. Okay. And then be civilized about it. As you're about to fight, do you want some tea? Okay. Do you want some biscuits? Okay, I'm putting poison. Amen. Amen. Be civilized about it. Now, number 2, when you're fighting, make sure your fights are always in the confines of face time. Keep conflicts in face time. Make sure you're facing each other. Don't be fighting when you're looking at the floor. No. Face each other. Because sometimes when you're apart, you can be tough, eh? You can be tough. Yeah, you're nothing. But when your face, you just melt. When you see their face, you actually start thinking, hey, why was I so angry? Some people can fight hard on the phone, but face to face, they can't fight anymore. Then there's those who face to face, you wish it was SMS. But it's important. It's important that you face each other. Look into each other's eyes as you discuss your problems. It's tough. Sometimes there'll be a tear. You know, there's a tear from anger, which can just be there. But face each other, look at each other eye to eye as you're discussing problems. And this is difficult for people who are used to Al-Qaeda, Taliban fighting. When they just open the door, they shout a nasty comment, and they walk out. It's hard. Or it's hard for people who are used to fighting on the phone or SMS, where they leave no room for discussion because you're absent, your partner is absent. Face each other and talk looking at each other. One man says that you must talk holding hands like this. Now, hey, someone will crush your hands. I think just face each other, amen. Because as they are shouting, your hands squeeze just start going. As she's going, and you start squeezing tight. You're squeezing my hand, you're squeezing. I know, it's love. And while you're together in your fight room, make sure that there's no cell phones, there's no iPads, you switch those things off, you put them aside, no newspaper, TV is off. It must be undivided attention. So part of your homework is I want you to find your fight room. Find your fight room. When you have children, if your fights are those loud fights, get a soundproof room or something, or go somewhere. Amen. But have a space. Don't fight anywhere and everywhere. Can I get an amen? There's people who can fight anywhere. They can fight in Pick and Pay and you get embarrassed. Amen. I had an uncle, he'd fight in the car. I mean, we're cousins. You know, you're a visitor. You think, hey, they'll be shy of visitors. He starts, whoa, 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 whoa. And you're in the back. No, you want to say, drop me off. Short left. And you're so embarrassed. And your aunt is there going, ta, 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 ta. You have to have a place where you fight. Amen. Then number 3, when you're in that fight from now, make sure that you stick to the problem at hand. Focus on the current conflict. That's a major problem in conflict. Don't accuse your spouse of always. Once you start you always, you're already killing the fight. Or once you start, I will never again. I will never. Once you start dropping nevers. Don't drop nevers. So this is what happens in a conflict. Diagnose each conflict separately. Amen. It's like a doctor, let's say a vet. A dog has been run over, but you're bringing in a cow in the operating table as well. So now there's a dog, there's a cow. You're bringing a donkey as well, and deal with what is happening at the moment. Diagnose each conflict separately. If something happens, don't bring something else into the operating room. Deal with what is happening at the present. Amen. So for example, he smashed the car or whatever. You smashed the car, his favorite car, he's angry. He now mustn't bring a story of, I don't know, you didn't cook well last week. Amen. Deal with the present conflict. I'm not happy with this because. I'm not happy with your cooking because. Don't now bring in driving and burping and all those issues which you've got. But